Hello. Ahoy. Welcome to another Wednesday. As I realize that my boxes have piled up back there and you can see them. Uh, this is More Than Maybe. We meditate for 25 minutes, and the title was meant to be a joke about me having a regular time slot. So, and the time slot has become more and more regular. And now, for a lot of you, a fixture of the week, I have been told in very, very kind and polite, flattering emails. So thank you for that. Reminder, hello, Gabrielle, Saban, Aimless, Lisa, Ruth, Silver Medal, Ruth, you're doing better, not bronze. Colette, Bill J, Bill B, and did I miss anybody? Hello, Paul. All right. And last week we talked about the crowns are like a thing and you can't turn them off. And we can thank YouTube for that. So if for some reason you aren't getting emails where I explain the crowns, I know that's a teaser, right? Get on the mailing list so I can explain crowns to you. You can send an email to that email address. I'll add you. We're under 100, so I can continue to operate the mailing list in the way that I'm doing right now. So that is closer and more intimate, I guess, because you can always reply back to me. You can always reply back and say, hey, I don't want to get this email anymore. And that's totally valid as well. Welcome, Ronnie. So who am I? I'm Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach and engineer, a software engineer by trade and training. I like to think of myself as a craftsperson, not as much an engineer, but you didn't ask, so that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 25 minutes on the clock and we're going to meditate. That's the plan. I'm going to get you out of here before the top of the hour because people got things to do on their Wednesday or their Thursday afternoon for the folks tuning in from Australia. I'm always excited to see where people are watching from, and I do see folks watching the recordings from Australia. And then I got one person who sent me an email to let me know that they watch the recordings, and so they appreciate the acknowledgement. So back at you. So thanks for that. And you can always reply and say hi. This last email that I sent out, I talked about how the 29th is, which yesterday was kind of a milestone day or an anniversary day in my meditation practice, because that's when that was the day that my meditation practice got really serious. I realized that I needed to learn how to be mindful and to meditate more without turning myself inside out and basically burning myself out. So I started to, ironically, to avoid burnout, I practiced like my hair was on fire. And so I went on a lot of retreats in a short period of time. I kind of went all over the place. And it gave me a solid foundation. So, okay. So how can you add? Can you be added to the mailing list? That is a perfect question, Sarah. You can get added to the mailing list. And hello, thank you, Ruth, for. So if you email the email address, which may not be visible to you depending on when you joined, if you email that Gmail address, I will reply and let you know you've been added, and then I keep a list behind the scenes, and then I send out emails. Now I'm trying to send them out on Tuesdays, so I'm slowly but surely getting more structure. So as I do little tech support things here and there, I'm trying to find a way to use my own skills to automate and get things going. I noticed that there are some folks that told me recently that they were finding this or finding the reminders off of Instagram. So my Instagram, my actual like professional account, is Leonard's coaching, and then my personal stuff, which is usually like random pictures of airplanes and flowers and phone booths and manhole covers, is at so at Leonard's.coaching is the meditation stuff, and then at Leonard's is usually like me taking pictures of random things. So yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Great to know. I've let's answer that. Ruth is actually in Vancouver, or just outside of Vancouver. But I think folks, I won't be able to make it this year, but I think a lot of people are trying to sync up at the Consciousness Explorers Club annual meditation retreat, which is coming up, I think, in like 3 weeks. I think it's the third weekend, maybe the third weekend or the fourth weekend in August. So, but you can find out more by going to cecmeditate.com. That's cecmeditate.com. Okay. I really wish I had managed to find my way into being a radio voice, but alas, I did not. So, okay. Yeah, there was a time you could cross Buffalo. You could cross just with like a driver's license. Those days are over, though. Okay, 25 minutes. So what we're gonna do is choose your own adventure, and that is we're gonna start with feel rest, and then you're gonna have the option to do loving kindness, and then we're gonna finish with our 5 minutes of do nothing. So the option for loving kindness will be kind of in the middle. You can always it's a judgment call. It's your sit. You decide. But so we'll do feel rest. Start out. We'll arrive 7. Work with feel rest. Again, feel rest is a noting technique coming from the Unified Mindfulness System, which I'm certified in. Then we'll move to loving kindness, sort of briefly, and then we'll shift to do nothing. So you're always welcome to replace do nothing with more loving kindness if you want, but we're going to do kind of a triple hitter of things today. That's my plan. And the plan just happened 45 seconds ago. All right, I'm going to invite the bell and we will get going. Thank you for being here. All right. Sometimes I like to think that my meditation sit started the moment I thought about meditating. It's wishful thinking at times. So this is, as we invite the bell, it's our kind of the real start. So we begin by establishing our posture. Upright without being uptight is what I'm always looking for. I'm going to focus on the seated posture, so seated in a chair, a cushion, or a bench, but you could be standing, lying down, or even walking. All spiritually valid meditation postures. Really just checking in to see what's already here. Acknowledge that. So you might have been a long day for you, maybe feeling a little bit buzzy, maybe it's got a little bit of a slowish sloth and torpor kind of feeling after getting done with your workday, or maybe you're just sort of hitting middle of the stride. So all states are welcome. Doesn't mean we're excited about them, but they're all welcome. Checking in quickly, just or briefly, to see if there's any tension in the body, maybe around the neck or the shoulders, and having a lot of neck tightness. Sometimes just acknowledging the tightness will cause it to release, and other times it'll just be the way that it is. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths, slow and low at the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to breathe slow, and that slow breath goes low into the belly. As that inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, seeing if you can extend ever so slightly the exhale. And we'll begin with feel rest, and these slow, deliberate breaths can be restful. They don't have to be, or they won't always be. So you might feel a sense of rest around that. With feel rest, we're focused on the body, so physical body sensations. We can include emotional body sensations as well. And then being attuned for situations where there is a reduction in activity. That's what we're talking about with rest. The setup for noting is bringing our attention within our focus range. So physical body sensations, emotional body sensations. Shorthand for that is feel. Noticing where our attention is. Pouring our attention in. And then optionally labeling feel. If you're pulled away by sounds, maybe from my environment or yours, noticing that you've been pulled outside of the focus range, and with care, bringing your attention back to the body. And then finally, you may notice rest around the rib cage or anywhere where your body moves from breath. So if you're not finding any rest, that's a place to watch out. So I'll let you explore on your own and check in a little bit. And if you find the labeling process awkward, you can always drop the label. Then you'll find when you're in a rhythm with noting practice, like the noting is kind of clear and directional of what you're actually paying attention to. So if that label is causing problems, you can always experiment with dropping that. If you feel a little like floaty or spacey, you can also increase the frequency of the label. And the purpose of the label is kind of like we're spotting somebody who's lifting, trying to help the attention stay there a little longer. So that's the real intention behind that. So feel free to dial up or dial down. All right, so you can continue with feel rest if you want. We're gonna have a short friendliness practice, and We're going to center on the fact that it's back to school for a lot of North American kids. So the phrases that we'll offer are the classic phrases. If you have a kiddo or a grandson, niece, nephew, cousin that's headed back to school, bringing them to mind however you can in a rich and real way, and offering the phrases. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you learn with ease. Safe, happy, ease, if you want to shorten it. And really what we're looking for is coupling that mental image or mental talk or the combination of them with the phrases. These are well wishes, not commandments. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you learn with ease. And then often you'll hear coaches and teachers like me saying you can customize the phrases. So maybe you don't want learning to be easy. Maybe you want learning to be productive and challenging. Or maybe a well wish for you is may you find curiosity in what's to come. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you find curiosity in what's to come. Finding a rhythm and pace overall that's pleasing. Maybe you had a hard time choosing and there's someone else to bring to mind. So swapping out and offering phrases to a new person. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you find curiosity in what's to come. Or maybe just may you be curious in this new school year. The warmth behind the offering is really what we're trying to stoke. Happy, safe, curious. All right, again, one more choice point for you. You could continue with your loving kindness if you want. This is the opportunity for you to put down the practice with care, kind of put it on the mental shelf and shift into do nothing. And I like to think of this as we've been pedaling with our technique this whole time, and this is the opportunity for us to coast. So we let go of any intention to control our attention, and we just sit.